Hello everybody, the game is getting nearer, we're producing more videos as always. We'll have your post-match reaction tonight. Check out the video from earlier on. We speak about Crescentia Somerville, a little bit of an update there, an exciting update, but listen, we've got more to talk about right now. We're talking about lineup predictions. I know you guys are telling me that you score predictions in the comment section below and all that sort of good stuff, which is great. But yeah, let me know what you think about potential lineups. I mean, we'll get into that in just a little bit of a minute, but yeah, it looks like Charlie Cresswell's been involved in an accident at Elland Road. Absolutely bizarre. The police are currently investigating what happened, but yeah, a little bit of breaking news on that side of things. Hopefully he's going to be fit and available tonight. Doesn't look like there's any like injuries or anything like that to Charlie, but we'll have to wait and see in due course. So yeah, hopefully he's okay. Don't really know the specifics of what happened, but yeah, Charlie's involved in an incident at Elland Road pretty much. Looked like he was turning in, so yeah, hope he's okay. Hope everything else is okay with him, and let's hope he's on the bench for this evening, because that's where he would have his due place. Now, what I also wanted to talk about is the lineup. Now, we're not only going to discuss the lineup for Leeds United, but I think it's quite right to discuss the lineup for Norwich City, of course, because the Canaries come into this game with questions above their head. They had questions about Josh Sargent, they've got questions about Johnny Rowe, and they've also got questions about Ashley Barnes. Now, I mentioned previously, tactically, I think Ashley Barnes would give them a lot in this game. I think the beauty of what he offers is a route one option, and he offers experience, mass experience, which is naturally going to aid Norwich in situations where they're a little bit under the cosh maybe at the back. You've maybe got Ben Gibson and Shane Duffy trying to play out from the back, and maybe they're getting pressed a little bit more, hopefully by Matteo Joseph. And then naturally you're going to see them going long a little bit to alleviate that pressure. So multiple ways of looking at this tonight. I think if Barnes is fit, he'll be starting, and I think that'll be a good move for Norwich. And you might even see Sargent either dropping out wide, you might see Sargent dropping to the bench, but I doubt it, to be honest with you, because Sargent's just been on fire. But he does give them that option. He also gives them the option to go to a front two if they want to do that. Now, Johnny Rowe is going to be the interesting one. Obviously, Firpo's done a good job against him, a really good job against him, and Norwich do have options. Obviously, Onel Hernandez still available. Borja Sainz got a lot of the game, I thought, at Norwich. Marcelino Nunes, problematic. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they line up. I think it's going to be something really similar. It could be the exact same lineup. They've got danger men throughout that team, as I just mentioned. Marcelino Nunes, Borja Sainz, Ashley Barnes if he's back, Josh Sargent, Johnny Rowe, Dimi Giannoulis. Now, I think the key battle is going to be Wilf Gnonto against Dimi Giannoulis. Now, Giannoulis, obviously I've mentioned previously, was actually someone who I mentioned when we came down as a target. I'd have been looking at Giannoulis all day. I thought they'd have sold him. There was rumours about Roma, there was rumours about Panathinaikos. He stayed at Norwich, and I think he's a very technically able left back, 100%, and he can actually play left wing. But the key battle there is going to be him versus Wilf Gnonto. I think that's actually a little bit of this game where Leeds can win it. And let me tell you why. In that first game, he was completely rattled by Wilf Gnonto. And it's not the first time this season that Giannoulis has proven that he can be rattled by an opposing winger. And Willie Gnonto wasn't really doing anything, but there were several times where Willie Gnonto was on the floor or whatever from a separate tackle. There was another one with Kenny McLean, and Giannoulis would come past him and shout at him on the floor. So he was evidently rattled, and he actually got a yellow card. So that's going to be a fascinating battle. If Willie Gnonto can wind him up and can get in and behind him, that is definitely an option. And technically wise, they're both quite equally matched, but can he get the best out of him? Who knows? Now, Jack Stacey is another one who I thought had a good game against Crescentia Somerville, but 1v1, there's no one who can match Crescentia Somerville when he's got that low centre of gravity and he just decides to take you on. You can't do anything. So Stacey's one of the full-backs in this league who can deal with Crescentia Somerville in a reasonably effective way. I think he's good either side. I think he's strong in the tackle, quite similar defensively to Sam Byram, and that's going to be an interesting one, Stacey versus Somerville. So these are all from offensive point of views with Leeds United. I think Willie Gnonto and Somerville are going to be huge tonight. I just think if Joel Perreault's playing, he'll be largely anonymous. Hopefully he can link play up a little bit, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen tonight. I think he's going to really struggle. I think he will start. I think you're going to see maybe Rutter hitting the bench, or Leeds might go to a 4-2-3-1 and have Perreault as that front man. But my prediction is that Jorginho Rutter is going to fall to the bench. And I just think that post-op Rutter has been criminal. He's really, really struggled. And I don't think we're getting any upside from Jorginho Rutter now. And if you're to bring him off the bench, wow, what an option that is. Now, the only reason you'd side with Jorginho Rutter is in a lot of pressure moments where Leeds United need to get out, when the ball is all over Jorginho Rutter and he can hold it up, that is a real, it's almost an avenue. It's a massive avenue for Leeds to get out. It's a massive avenue for Leeds to win a free kick. And I still think he did do that against Norwich. So that's an interesting thing to keep an eye on as well. And if he is in that 10 role, that means Archie's going to drop into right back. It means Archie's going to drop maybe into central midfield, but I doubt that. So what do we look at there? It's more going to be a disciplined job that Rutter is also keeping an eye on Kenny McLean, because we don't want him almost being the anchor and the provider in this setup. So something to keep an eye on right there. So there's key battles all over the pitch. I think Norwich are going to probably revert back to what they did in the first game. I think their only change is probably going to be, you might look at Johnny Rowe, but I think he's going to start in this game. I don't think Wagner's going to take him out. It's probably quite a similar situation to that of Jorginho Rutter. He's not fully fledged yet. He's not back into the real match fitness. And I think Junior Firpo's done 2 consecutive very, very good jobs on him. Something to keep an eye on there, definitely. But I think it's going to be the exact same Norwich lineup going into this one. I think you're going to see Ashley Barnes on the bench. I think we're going to see Barnes come onto the pitch, no doubt about that. But I also think the key battles across the pitch would definitely be enhanced if Norwich went to a front 2. And if they had a front 2 similarly to what Coventry did against us, similarly to what Watford did in the second half against us in possession, I think that's where Leeds will struggle. And I think Wagner, with his defensive copium, will potentially go into this game and look at a front 2 as well. So keep an eye on that, especially, you know, in the second half, and you know, if they move into a 4-4-2, because with Barnes available, Sargent available, that'll be something that could disrupt Ampadu and definitely Rodon. But I think what we're going to see is, I think we're going to see back to front Eli Melee in net. I think we're going to see Sam Byram regain his place, although I would go with Connor Roberts in this one, but, you know, I don't think he'll take him out. There is an option as well that Byram goes to the other side and Firpo comes out. Centre-backs, Rodon, centre-backs, Ampadu, and then I think we're going to go with Junior Firpo in general on that left side. I think we are going to potentially, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think there's a real obvious sort of way forward here with Leeds United when it comes to putting Perot in the team and putting Rutter in the team, that we go to a 4-2-3-1. There is a lot of potential here for Leeds to do that, and I think there's a big likelihood that he does that. I think we were at a 4-3-3 because he essentially wanted to stop McLean. He knows the value of McLean. They went in for McLean at the start of the season, I know that. So he knows the value of him. He knows as a deep line playmaker what he can do. So the Leeds went to restrict at Norwich. Now Leeds need to come to win. So does a 4-2-3-1 aid that? More attackers in attack? I think it might do. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to see a 4-2-3-1. I think potentially in this game, Archie might drop to the bench. Kamara, Gruev, Somerville, Rutter, Nonso and Joel Pro up front. I think on the other side, we're going to see the exact same Norwich side. I don't think there's going to be any changes there. As I say, the only one you can potentially think of is if they went to a 4-4-2, maybe with Barnes in that side, or maybe if they went to a 4-2-3-1, Sargent dropped out wide, Rowe came out, or whatever, because I know Sargent can play that side and Barnes went up top. But it's going to be interesting to see. But yeah, my preferred lineup would be a 4-3-3. I think an attacking 4-3-3, I would go with Ilan Melee in net, unfortunately. I'd go with Connor Roberts right back. I would go centre-backs, Ampadu, Rodon. Left back, I'd go with Junior Firpo. I'd go in midfield 3 again. Of Kamara, Gruev. Gruev needs to drastically improve in this game, by the way. I thought Borja Sainz got past him way too easily in that first game. But yeah, I would go with Kamara, Gruev and Archie Gray. And then up top, I would go with Willian Yonso. I would go with Matteo Joseph. And I would go with Crysencio Somerville. Guys, that's been it from me. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your score predictions? I'm going with Leeds United 1, Norwich 0 for this one. The Leeds are going to head to Wembley. And yeah, I think that's how it's going to go. It's going to be a tight one. I can't wait to see you all there. If I do see you there, yeah, it's going to be a good one. But yeah, I think Leeds are going to run out winners in this one, but I think there is a way Daniel Farke should go, and I'll be a little bit worried if we look at a Jorginho Rutter and Joel Perreault front almost two, because that's just not worked, and that was the reason initially in sort of January we brought Pat Bamford back in. Who knows? Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. 1-0 Leeds win for me. I'll see you in a bit.